That shows that Indian music is such a harmonious thing built in the oneness, the unity of understanding that from whatever tradition they come in, they can play together so well, support each other, and melodies can be mixed up so beautifully. I'm happy that you understand this music and enjoy it very much. I saw you all absolutely engrossed. It's a saying that when Krishna used to play his flute, then he said that Chitravata Sethadi. Everybody was like a picture. Eyes were not moving, hands were not moving, nothing. Just chitra. Like that I saw today all of you so much engrossed, and I'm so thankful to these artists for bringing out the beauty of this great art of music. Now also you can see that it's a combination of East and West, because this Basuri, the flute, is from the East and the violin is from the West. But the way it combined together shows there is a harmony even in the instruments, the way we play and the way we manifest the beauty of music. Music is very important for Sahaja Yoga, as you know that through music the vibrations spread very well, and one can go very deep into your own meditation through music. I'm very happy they have taken out a CD now, both of them, and we have got them. Those who want to buy can buy from Guido. It's a nice thing I appreciate, because they are very young. Very young people coming up in Sahaja Yoga gives me such a great hope that one day these artists will rise so much higher and that this music will spread all over the world. It's very important that young people should take to music, because the older Johnnies are now practical. None of them are willing to come even to Kabela. I think it's too far for them. But we have this second generation which is doing so well and learning music even from their mother and father, and also from very old artists of India. It's a very traditional art, no doubt, but it has so much of eternal joy that it cannot be called as something of the past or of the present, but it is also of the future. I think you all have appreciated very much, and I must thank Americans for organizing this program in their own understanding of the music. America is taking to music now, Indian music also, and are coming up into a proper shape, I think, in rendering something that is extremely spiritual. Though sometimes I find it's very noisy, but somehow or other they are taking to harmony and to a question of rapport with the people who are going to listen. I mean, if they are just going to jump and dance and not to listen the music, then how is it music? I can't understand. If you have to just jump to the tune all the time in a one particular manner, so it cannot be music. Music has to be listened to, otherwise it goes in the skin, I think, that it works the other way around. So, I'm just saying it because of the American music is now taking over, I think. Yeah. Some of the things I've heard, some records I had brought was quite nice. I felt they were really spiritual and one could sit down and listen to it more than to just jump and not listen. So music is meant for your ears and not for the whole skin, and that is something is gone, shifted, I think, from the proper point to that. Once you start listening the music, then it goes deep down, very much deep down. So to achieve the depth of music, one has to make a music that people would listen, and not the music by which they just go into jeopardy. That won't be all right. Because how will they assimilate, how will they absorb we have to absorb the energy of music within yourself. Not that I discourage Americans from listening to that music. Maybe one day they'll come round. Because when something is shallow, as you know, there's a saying in Hindi language, Adha jala gagari chalakata jaya. The one which is a pot which is not fully filled, when you walk, the water goes on spilling around. So when you get deep into the music, very deep into the music, then nothing but that depth that fills you up and gives you all the joy that is needed. What one has to achieve is pure joy, not other joys, but pure joy in your heart. That is the most evolved way of understanding music. Now, you see, I'm happy that you people are enjoying your classical as well as this classical. Also, the light music is all right as long as it is mirthful. Should have mirth in it. Like you have Strauss. I like him very much because very mirthful music he has. And otherwise, also like all other great musicians you had, they're very deep and very touching. I'm happy they like the music of Binati Suniye because I have given the tune. And you see, I don't know, just out of the blue, I just felt like making that tune for. But somebody wrote the thing which also I corrected. But the tune I gave to that, and I don't understand how I did it, but I did it. And everywhere they have appreciated this song very much. The way it is composed, they said it's very well done. Now we have to understand that these people are so good at music and they are progressing so much. So I thought that we should also have an academy of music in, say, Nagpur, where we could train also foreigners to sing and to play like these people. Because once you start playing yourself, you'll understand the value of this music and you'll understand how deep it is. Because to sing these songs, that is the Indian way, is extremely difficult. When you try that, you will know it's so difficult. And why it comes to Indians, maybe we can say they are basically spiritual, maybe that they get this training from very childhood. For example, I know Sangeeta came to me, she was a very little girl with a little violin and she played it to me and I was so charmed because I thought, oh, this girl is one of the future great artists coming before me. A time had come in India where there was such a depression about music that we felt that this music may not be surviving the onslaught of the Western music. But it's coming back again and that the Western people are also appreciating this music. So there is music in the East and music in the West and every music is good, no doubt. But it should be, I think, that one should be able to listen to that music. Even the words, you don't know what they are singing, even the rhythm they have, God knows what sort of a rhythm they have. So once you start listening to the music, it goes very deep down into you and then the real creativity can come. So I'm happy they have made also a nice, for you, this recording which you will appreciate and try to listen to music. Listening is very important and that makes you go very deep into yourself and really, really enjoy yourself. So I'm thankful to them and thankful to people from America for coming over here and organizing this music. A lot has to be said about Krishna, which I'll tell you tomorrow. So for today's music, we have to give a hand to the artist. Regarding Uzumdar, I've heard him before for a very short time, but I did hear. I must say, he's going really, I don't know, he's reached such a height suddenly, and I'm really admiring for his progress. Really, it's true. His guru, I've heard him many a times, because I know I am the oldest woman here. So I heard all of them, A to Z. But especially this Vijay Raghav, I've heard him many a times, and sort of he was such a musician that one would go absolutely into another realm of spirituality with him. He's a great person. Now, you see the progress that he has done. I'm also thankful to Mr. Jalan for coming down to play here and looking after the rhythm of this music. So thank you very much.
The noise what? Is now increased.
Much more confused. This might be an early age tonight.
What did she say?
Thank you very much. I hope great revolution.
Is this person not going to get something like this?
No, because that's down in the middle of it.
Oh, has it?
In the preface I have written, actually I did not want to write a book of this kind. I am a person who is in complete joy of divinity. This is all pervading joy of divine love, and I wanted everybody to enjoy it. Especially in the West, I saw there are many seekers of truth. There are many scientists who have written voluminous books about consciousness, about awareness. One can give a list of them. But all these books really vary you completely because they do not emit any knowledge of the ultimate truth. I don't want to criticize them. After all, whatever they are doing constitutes honest research. But why not also give a chance to this new discovery which is being made? Why not humble down to see what is beyond this mind which gives you all this artificial intelligence? It is extremely difficult for me to write about the problems of Western life. It is like a tree which has grown outside. This is now to be pushed towards the roots and made to grow inside. It is only by going deep inside that we can find out what the problems of the Western civilization are. This book is specially meant for the Western people, but unfortunately I have never studied any Western language before. English is one of the blessings of the British given to India when they ruled our country. But there too, unfortunately, I studied in a vernacular school and later on in a medical college where there is no question of learning this language. English, which is today universally accepted, especially in the West, This book is no way to show any flowery language or to show any literary talent of mine. It is just a straightforward statement of facts which I know, which I want to communicate with the Western world. I would request people not to waste their time in finding faults with my English because that is not my mother tongue and I never studied it. Unfortunately, I could not get anybody else to write for me because it had to be written by me personally. The most difficult part is to convince a human being that in the entire creation he is the most highly evolved being, that he is capable of becoming a glorious personality, a beautiful, peaceful angel. To tell him about the problems of modern times is not a very good way of convincing him about what the human beings truly are. There has been so much demeaning of human beings, so much of degradation in their value system, that I thought that unless and until I go to the roots of the problems, it won't be easy to explain why they should break away from their present shackles in order to evolve and ascend. One has to tell frankly what the problems are and what the real solutions are. Frankly, there is no peace within human beings, nor without. The poor and the rich alike are unhappy. Everywhere people are groping for solutions. At the artificial level, the intellectual can work out certain problems about things that we see around in jeopardy. But while a few problems may be resolved in this way, others arise. True solution lies not in the material circumstances outside human beings, but inside the human beings. inside the human beings themselves. True and lasting solution to present ills can be found only by inner collective transformation of human beings. This is not an impossibility. In fact, it has already happened. There are so many thousands and thousands who have actually achieved this state. The reality of Ama's inner transformation of human being by self-realization is the most revolutionary discovery of the present age. But so far, very few governments have accepted this discovery, especially in America, England, France, Italy, or Germany. The Pope, who himself is supposed to be in charge of religion, meets false gurus, but he will never meet me or talk to me, though I have met him before he was elected to this job of a Pope. This is not my job, this is not my work, but it is the spontaneous desire of the divine that this should be brought in full swing, so that human beings are raised to a higher stage of consciousness by which they can realize what they are, so that they can appreciate and glorify themselves. To me, human beings are like the deities who are still in stone form and who can be transformed with Kundalini awakening into angels. I wish with this book I will not hurt people. On the contrary, I hope to be able to get many more people for this great work of Sahaja Yoga by which they can achieve their ultimate. I have to use humor because by nature I am very humorous, and I see humor in every kind of incident, which people sometimes take very seriously. It is too much for a mother to talk about the ills of her children, but unless and until that is faced, I don't think the children can ever get their benevolence and can reach their ultimate goal, which is their self-realization. So I would ask all of you not to get angry with me, but to understand that out of my tremendous compassion and love, I have written this book for the benevolence of the people, with whatever English I can use, with whatever literature I can use, with whatever style I could adopt. I thought better be apologetic so that nobody gets angry to begin with. But the book has come out well, I think, and we are thinking of printing it somewhere and getting it done in a proper way. So I think it might be ready by 1 or 2 months' time, and maybe that in Diwali Puja, Thanksgiving, depends on how they print it. The first edition will be only for Sahajogis. May God bless.